And the winner is, this is the layout we're going to be scrap lifting. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn this layout 90 degrees and use it for a heritage page today. So that'll be fun. This is the original photo. This is the one I am not scrapping, but as you can see here, my grandfather had put a little arrow to show where he was in the photo. And I'm going to use that as a guide as I'm doing my layout, because I'm going to place a little bit of journaling and an arrow element right there where his arrow was, so that we can find him in this 4x6 version of the same picture. I want to map my photo in some of this beautiful little polka dot paper. So I'm going to be using some bits and bobs from a school collection from Authentique. I bought this collection specifically for some of my grandfather's school photos that I had, because it has a very vintagey vibe to it. It also has some really fun images that are like from like maybe a 30s or 40s schoolroom, which is when my grandfather would have been in grade school. So decided I was going to go ahead and use them. I don't have a whole lot of this collection. I don't think I bought a ton of it. I just bought a little bit of it. But what I have is going to work perfectly for my layout and for what I do on this scrap lift. So I have lots of these little like cut apart pieces. I'm going to choose a couple of them to use on my layout. I'm going to use, I think I use all 4 of these little pieces. I definitely use the eyeglasses and the bus. I'm going to use this little field notes book as a base for some clustering as well. And then I'm going to punch a ton of circles. So I'm going to take all of those scrap pieces from the polka dot paper, and I'm just going to punch them into a whole bunch of circles to use in my layout. Remember, the layout we are going to scrap lift today does have that whole section of circles, and we're going to go ahead and use that as part of our layout. I'm going to use some craft cardstock as the base, and I'm going to go ahead and add some liberal white splattering just to provide a little bit of interest to the back of what we are going to work with. We're going to create a mindfully curated collection of things. I like to say a mindfully curated collection of stickers, but these aren't all stickers. Some of them are, but we're also going to be using other elements that aren't. So we'll say the other. I am going to go ahead and start with my photo. I'm going to get my photo down where I think I want it. And then the original layout had some like larger elements kind of above and around the photo. So I want to imitate those. Our photo is in a landscape orientation instead of portrait, but that's okay. We're going to add a couple of things to the right of the photo, and I'm going to start with this field notes book as kind of like the beginning of the cluster that I'm going to create. Okay, so I decide to go with that field notes piece. I decide to go with the bus. I felt like both those things with their kind of square rectangle shapes really mimicked and looked like the layout I am scrap lifting. Now I have all these stickers. Most of them are not going to work for my page, but that's okay. We are going to find a couple that are going to work, and we're going to pop them around and kind of finish this part of the layout off. Before we go into the next one. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use some more little pieces, some stickers. I'm going to pop some of the stickers up. I'm just kind of looking here and trying to decide, which ones I want to use, which ones I think will work the best for this. I love this little geotag, and I'm going to go ahead and put the sticker down, and then I'm going to actually pop the little middle of the geotag up on just a little pop dot here to add a bit of dimension to this layout. A little frame to provide just a bit more of that lovely color to the background. And then over that frame, I'm going to pop up some another phrase sticker that just says student. I'm also going to tuck in one of these little circles so that this cluster will match the cluster that's going to go down the side of the page. Now let's get to work on this border. So I know that I want to use this 3x4 card as part of my title, but I also know I don't want the part that says the stop sign that comes out. So I'm going to cover that up. But I do want to use that part that says school days. I'm just going to add some letter stickers above school days. Everything's getting some ink with some vintage photo distress oxide ink just for some warmth and to keep that kind of vintagey vibe to this entire layout that I'm going to go ahead and create here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that school days 3x4 tag. 3x4 card. I'm going to layer up this really cute, is this the typewriter? This is the typewriter. Yep. And then exactly where the lunchbox and the eyeglasses are, that's where they're going to stay. So I'm starting with my bigger paper elements first in this line of embellishments. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this large frame sticker. And I think that is the largest sticker from the sticker sheet I'm going to use. I don't remember if I use another large sticker or not. I know I want to use this one that has this fun little like school graphic onto the layout. I just have to decide where it's going to fit, where it's going to look the best. And I'm also going to pop it up a little bit. And I need to make sure that I add the little bit of journaling I want to add, and I'm going to use two labels. These are printable labels from Nicole Jones Designs, and I'm going to use two of them, pop them up, add my journaling to that one, because this is the part of the photo where my grandfather had put that arrow that said, this is where I am on the school picture. So once I have that a very important bit of information right there, now I'm going to go ahead with all of these circles. I'm going to space them evenly throughout my line here. I want to make sure that they're in there because they were in the original layout. And while the original layout has more circles that are kind of like overlapping each other, and for this one I'm doing more of like the ephemera and the squares and rectangles, that's okay. But I do want to make sure that I do like the added shape and dimension of having the circles mixed in with these rectangular elements. So I know my grandfather was born in 1927, and I know that this is a grade school photo. So I'm going to go with, so this would be the 1930s. Like it would have to be, because he doesn't look more older than 10 in this photo. None of those kids do. So I'm just going to go ahead and call this layout 1930s school days. And now I'm going to go back to the stickers and I'm going to fill in. So I'm going to find areas where I feel like there's some trapped white space, or I feel like there's areas where this little curated collection is not, it looks disjointed. And we're going to fill those areas in using quite a few stickers from the collection. I'm going to continue to pop some of my stickers up just for a little bit of dimension so everything isn't just flat. And there is no rhyme or reason to this. You just want everything to look to the eye like things are touching, things are all connected. There isn't areas of like really trapped white space. It's a little bit like putting together a puzzle. I've really been loving this mindfully curated collection of stickers or ephemera that I have been doing recently. I feel like it's just a really fun, cool look on a page, and I hope you do too. I hope your Monday has been fabulous, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Paper Person Day. All right, guys, I'll see you all again soon. Bye.